Why do we like this book so much to the point to call it philosophical, feminist, devastating, life-changing? Let's find out. One detail about this book I enjoyed a lot is how it kept my mind busy thinking about what might happen next. And that I appreciate a lot. And yet, almost nothing happens. There is no explanation, no villain monologue, no big reveal. So the real question isn't what this book is about, it's why are readers raving about something so deliberately empty. I Who Never Know Man is about women held in captivity, guarded by men with no knowledge of why they are there or what the world outside looks like. The young narrator has never known man, intimacy, romance, or normal social life. The book gives you no backstory, no world building, no answers, which is brilliant. I mean, if you read sci-fi, you know this happens in the plot where it starts from nowhere and ends without giving you that closure. You're used to it. I like it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want something more like beginning, middle, end, traditionally. I see why some readers who love this book. First, it feels profound without explaining itself. Readers project meaning onto it about patriarchy, power, gender, survival, and freedom. Second, it's so minimalist, but emotionally heavy. The silence does the work, the repetition creates a trance. And third, and this is important, it validates a feeling many readers already have. That feeling being, when women are left alone together, something pure and meaningful emerges. Here is how I read it. I don't read this as a literal dystopia. I read it as a dream someone had and was creative enough to turn into a book, this book here. We know how dreams work. Details are missing. Logic is emotional, not factual. Symbols replace explanations. In that sense, the guards are not fully men. They are figures, barriers, forces. And the women are not individual characters as much as states of being. That's why this book doesn't care if it convinces you logically. It wants to resonate emotionally. I think readers might describe this book as inclusive, and I understand why. There is no traditional romance, no traditional family structure, no competition for male attention. The women exist without being defined by men. And some men, when they appear, are reduced to guards, silent, armed, emotionless. Symbologically, it's cleaned, almost too clean. Which brings me to the uncomfortable question. Are we loving this book because it challenges us or because it confirms what we already feel? Because, if you strip it down, the emotional logic is very simple. Women together equals meaning, cooperation, depth. Men present equals danger, control, emptiness. And I guess that's not necessarily wrong, but it is emotionally convenient. That's where confirmation bias comes from. Part of why this book resonates is that it validates a desire for a world centered around women. It's worth remembering, though, that this already exists. There are real societies today that are matriarchal and matrilineal, such as these ones here. in China, in Indonesia, in Africa, in Kenya. These aren't fictional experiments, they are living cultures. If this idea interests you, I would encourage you to look them up because reality is always more complex and more interesting than symbolism. They are not utopias. They still deal with conflict, power, inequality, and human complexity, which brings me back to the book. Confirmation bias is where we gravitate towards stories that reassure us that our instincts are right, that our worldview is justified, and that complexity can be simplified. This book doesn't argue its position, it assumes it. And I guess readers don't ask for more because the emotional payoff is already there. My question for you is, are we reading literature to be challenged or to feel morally affirmed? Even with all of that, this book actually works because dreams don't need fairness, they need coherence of feelings. I, who have never known man, is focused, disciplined, and unforgettable. And you just have to accept it on those terms and conditions. Not the sort of book you finish and understand. It's a book you finish and recognize yourself reacting to it. And maybe that's why people rave about it, not because it tells the truth, but because it reflects a truth they already feel.